Sorry if the baby's crying in the background during this call, but I told him it's a monthly call. He's got to chill, but I don't know.
GM.
Okay, looks like the call is recording. Gemini Note Taker is taking notes. Let me just drop a link in the chat with some just resources for people. 1 second. Alrighty, got some links in there in case anybody's not familiar. Pinned it up. And yeah, I figure maybe at the 5-minute mark, we can kick it to Eve, do a little guided meditation, and then we'll bust through all the news and hopefully have some extra space to just chit chat about whatever and get some updates from other people. I feel like we need like some Jimmy, Let's Grow DAO vibe music in the background, but that's okay. We'll figure that out one day.
Matt, were you saying that you could hear my music, or?
No, I was saying I wish we, I feel like Jimmy with Let's Grow DAO is good with like getting some music playing before stuff starts up. Cool, if we can figure that one out here.
Up my music if you want.
Go for it. Hey, we got 30 seconds to vibe. Alrighty, let's do it. Eve, please ground us. Also, I'd welcome everybody to the monthly call.
Hey, everybody. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me. Yeah, we'll just drop in with a little meditation just to share some astrological context. We have a full moon today. It's a full moon in Sagittarius. So the sun is in Gemini, and Gemini is the ruler of local communication, close to home, local exploration. And the moon is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the ruler of philosophical exploration and world travel. So we have kind of a cosmo-local conjunction going on. And the theme here is integration. So whatever you're experiencing in your life, know that the kind of larger energetic trend that we're going through is as above, so below, as within, so without, and setting our intentions for integration. And so we'll just do a quick meditation, grounding into the earth, centering in the heart space, and then opening up to the cosmic energy. So if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. Finding your body in a comfortable position wherever you are. And connecting with your breath. Allowing your breath to slow down. And inviting yourself to become present. Releasing the work and the daily activities and the thoughts for just a few moments. Feeling the connection between your body and the ground, the earth beneath you. Feeling yourself held and supported by the earth. And beginning to visualize and activate energetic roots extending from your body down into the earth. And I like to visualize these roots as light, as made of light, extending deep down through the soil, through the rock, through all the layers of earth. And feeling that recognition from the earth if you're doing local work wherever you are, if you're doing regenerative work, if you spend time outside. Sensing into that recognition from the earth, which sees you and feels you and knows you. Feeling grounded. And now bringing your awareness into your heart center. Allowing your breath to expand your heart center. Taking a moment to sense into your intention for being here in this community call, for being part of this Greenpill community. And trusting in the wisdom of your heart to integrate and to navigate, to guide you through whatever you're experiencing in your life. Your heart knows the way. And now bringing your awareness above the crown of your head. Breathing into this connection with the universe, the cosmic world. And inviting the support of your ancestors on human intelligence. Any guides or angels that resonate with you. And simply letting that go and bringing your awareness into your entire field. Feeling yourself clear and connected in your work and your piece of the regeneration. Gently bringing yourself back to recall when you're ready. And thank you so much for meditating together.
Thank you so much. That was lovely, as always. Appreciate it, Eve.
Thank you.
All right. Let us dive into the agenda. Hard. All right. So I think the structure for this call, we're going to run through a bunch of ecosystem updates. We'll run through a bunch of network updates, network news, and then we'll see. Maybe we'll be over time, we'll be under time, who the heck knows? But let's dive in. So first up, we got some Regen Coordination stuff. So the grant ships voting occurred, I forget, it was a week or two ago. So Regen Coordination is officially locked in for GG24. And just a quick note, remember, be careful about clicking links shared by anybody besides myself or people that you recognize. Just be super cautious in this space. So yeah, grant ships is a pretty cool tool. We're friendly with the guys over there building that. So that's pretty exciting to know for a fact that Regen Coordination is going to be in this upcoming GG rounds. And then also the other big news there is we officially launched the new rebranded hub, the discourse forum. So it was just Greenpill, now it's Regen Coordination. So yeah, AFO did a ton of work there. It looks awesome, and it's not its final form quite yet. I think the next steps will be probably looping in other Regen Coordination orgs. But yeah, I'm super excited about that, and please feel free to post anything in there. And then the final thing to mention there is just to double tap on the Regen Coordination impact reporting. It's a requirement for Regen Coordination rounds, but I think it's something that's useful for pretty much any project in this space. It uses the Common Impact Data Standards and just an easy template that you can kind of update you could add your basically your impact reporting to Karma Gap. And yeah, it's pretty simple, but super effective. And yeah, you could check any of the Greenpill or Refi DAO or really any Regen Coordination Karma Gap pages to get a feel for what it actually looks like. Alrighty, next up we got grants. So Octane Epoch 8 is Ethereum aligned Epoch. applications closed at some point last week. I'm pretty sure we'll find out what projects are getting in within the next week or two. And yeah, we'll see. And then I got one more link here. It's kind of old news at this point, but if anybody's not familiar with the Octant V2 Degens and Dragons thing, definitely something to keep in mind. It's Octant is a pretty massive player within the public goods funding space, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this actually plays out. It's more or less trying to get other treasuries that are kind of stagnant to plug into yield-bearing strategies and then funnel that yield into public goods funding. So we shall see, but it is certainly massive news. GG24, there is, so obviously Gitcoin 3.0 is the big news. So there's going to be a bit of open time frame before the next GG round. So I dropped the link. Yeah, let me finish running through this GG, and then if you have anything you wanted to share, Regis, that'd be awesome. So yeah, GG 2024. There is that forum post with a bunch of information from Matilda, and then a Twitter space just ended, which I need to I listened to a bit, but I want to go back and listen to the full recording, and I'm sure that there'll be more spaces and stuff, or a bit of sense making, a bit of sharing of information. But yeah, it's definitely a major transitionary period over at Gitcoin, and we got front row seats, and yeah, it'll be super interesting to see how that actually plays out. Yeah, Regis, if you had anything you wanted to share quickly about Octant, Epoch 8, or just generally speaking, please do.
Yeah, I was just mostly just here if people had questions. You know.
Well, the man himself is here, so come generally at the Thursday call. So if you ever want to pick his brain, please do.
Yeah, so I think what's probably going to happen is we're going to have our Epoch 8, and then we'll have our last kind of V1 round will be Epoch 9, and then we'll basically transition into this V2 approach. So I think that our own approaches to funding will then be kind of behind this Octant V2. So if we're going to do more fundraising and that stuff, or giving away money, we'll probably do it using our own new V2 protocol, and then, you know, in some sense dogfooding the thing that we're going to ask other people to do, and yeah, so providing ecosystems with the kind of advantage that we've had for some time, right? Because a lot of projects are to do grants, they're kind of assuming that if they do a grant, there'll be more people involved, and that the overall TVL and everything involvement will grow. Our situation is a little different than that because we're not spending from our treasury at all, and so that's kind of an innovation in that sense. Of course, if you're Dragon, you can do whatever you want with your own money, but you know that Oct will be, you know, there for folks. So if you have questions about that, I imagine that's probably more from the grantee side, from your folks here, but maybe there's people here that have you know, ecosystems and/or are dragons that have questions. So I'm happy to talk about that.
Nice, awesome. Thanks for sharing. And then at a previous town hall, I did ask. I was like, "Is there a minimum amount that you can you have to have in your treasury to be able to plug into this?" And I think they said that originally they were thinking yes, but now maybe not so much. So, you know, you don't have to be, you know, who knows, things could shift around, but just something to keep in mind. I don't think you need to be like, you know, a crazy whale to potentially plug into the system. So we shall see.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's just about right now figuring out what value we provide to folks like that, you know. So let's say, I mean, there's a lot of folks who build, you know, ecosystems, and they're like, oh, maybe we should do public goods funding too. So in that situation, you wouldn't have to, because just participating in, you know, just then funds Ethereum public goods as a result of your participation in this thing. So there's a nice side effect to that. So yeah, and then you wouldn't have to spend you don't have to have manpower and employ people to evaluate your projects and all that stuff because it all just happens kind of automatically.
Sweet. Appreciate that. Shout out Octans. All right. One more quick mention of grant opportunities is Cello. Let me check what it's called again. Cello support streams. So Cello is obviously incredibly public goods aligned. I think they've partially funded almost all the community rounds in the last GG round and intimately connected to Regen Coordination. And so yeah, it's something that the Dev Guild is looking into. And yeah, I highly recommend anybody that's building on Cello to look into this as a source of funding. And yeah, I'm sure that there's a bunch of other funding opportunities kind of kicking around. I know there's the ENS grant and there's always the Ethereum Foundation stuff. So if anybody has decent opportunities and wants to share anything, please do.
The Raper U has one that's closing today. If you want to go to San Francisco for 3 weeks, they pay the ticket and give you 22,000.
Nice. You want to drop a link in the chat?
Yeah, I'll try and find it.
Okay. All right. Next up, we got a bunch of call recording type stuff. So the Ethereum localism, the first Ethereum localism.xyz community call occurred. It took me a while to finally finish listening to the recording, but it was a solid one. I'm super excited to eventually dig into like the Open Civics Knowledge Garden type stuff. But yeah, a lot of our community members were in there, and I'd recommend having a listen. Let me drop a link to that recording, and then also the transcript, and then also the Refi DAO had their quarterly call, which was always super interesting. I mean, there's a ton of similarities between Greenpill and Refi DAO. We're doing a lot of very similar stuff, and yeah, love Refi DAO. So if you're looking to absorb more regen content, absorb away. And then let me just quickly run through some other awesome regen refi articles and other news. And then there's a handful of people in this chat that are going to share some information themselves. So we got Crypto Altruist May newsletter, the Carbon Copy State of Refi Report 2025, which is a gem. Greenpill Writers Guild helped out with that a little bit. Token Engineering Commons put out an article about the state of refi. I see Bears in here. Shout out TEC. And yeah, those are the three. I mean, there's probably 100 others, but I don't want to overwhelm too much. So yeah, definitely check out those articles if you haven't already. And then yeah, I think let's see who's in this. I think Jimmy's here. I think Will T is also in here. Awesome. So yeah, let's just because it happens to be first on this list, can I kick it to you, Will T? Are you officially settled in over there? Do you want to share some information about what you're up to with KF Media?
Sure. I'd love to share.
Hell yeah.
Thank you for picking on me. I appreciate it. KF Media, we recently launched a new program called KFM Talks, and this is inspired by TED Talks. It does give us a way to grow our content library inside of our learning center, and also giving people who have a spirit to educate other people a platform, space, and a pathway into having this content hosted, but also distributed as well. So like I said, the inspiration for this comes from TED Talks. Our ambition is to find 25 people to participate in this program, to do a recorded session in kind of like a masterclass format, if you will, right? Educating on a single topic in about, 20 to 45 minutes, right? The advantages to this for the participants of this program is one, their content will be hosted. It'll also tie them back to revenue sharing with KF Media, the core company, at some point in time when we start generating revenue. There's a specific pool of funds that are already be set aside for that. So it's a way to kind of monetize their content in that fashion. But also, you know, say we are presented with a licensing opportunity with the traditional institution, we can license that out. And then, of course, we'd have an agreement with that contributor and, you know, monetization that way. One thing of note of this program is we are proving through this program that it is possible to have a program of this magnitude using 100% Web3 tooling. So everything, every touch point inside this program comes from a Web3 solution that already exists in today's environment, whether it be Unlock for the RSVPs, whether it be Huddle for the meeting recordings, which then can be streamed as well. And then also Meet With, which is now our official calendar booking site. We've dropped Calendly recently and gone to Meet With. And then, you know, Charmverse is our hosting platform for our learning center. So all that. Additionally, with this, they get the opportunity to be built into the lore of our future animated series called the Regenucators, or the Adventures of the Regenucators, which are people or educators who have the firm belief that education itself can be regenerative, right? Through the distribution through human networks and human connectivity. So there's that opportunity as well. And then in addition to that, we are part of Impact Foundry from Atlantis DAO. So we are launching a bounty against this program in Impact Minor for the participants of this program. So initially, right now, the open call goes through July 1st to find the 25 people who want to participate in this, on top of the 5 Regenucators that we already have. And then from there, we'll do a kickoff in August. We'll start recording the sessions. The goal is to record one session with one person every day in the month of August. We will fully market it. We will promote it. We'll even clip some of the content in short form media as part of the promotional piece. And then at the end of it, we'll gauge the success of that. Of course, all of our activity reporting will be reflective in Karma with a separate project for this as well. And yeah, then based on the success and the desirability of this type of program, we can replicate it successive months and grow our content library to, you know, in a short span, say 6 months time frame, to over 200 individual courses within our learning center. So that's KFM Talks. There's a lot of posts out there about it already, and we're basically marketing this every day leading into July. So if anybody wants to participate, we have presence on X, obviously, Farcaster and Arena. And if you guys need links, I can put them in the TG or the approved communication channels. Thanks for the time and space, Matt. I do appreciate it. And hopefully that's helpful and gets people excited about this new program we just launched.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, that sounds great. All right, let's keep it rolling. Jimmy, my man. Jimmy's here, right?
Let's go. Yeah, you guys can hear me, right? It's coming through.
Yeah, let's go.
Amazing. All right. So, Regens, I have a way for y'all to get rewarded while growing the Regen movement. So, Treegens is about to launch what we've been building for like more than 2 years now. It starts with TGN. And it's the first building block of this ecosystem. So it's both a governance and utility token. Not only do you get to vote in the DAO, but also you get to become a verifier. So when you stake TGN, you don't just earn more of the same token, you actually get to earn these ecological credits in our proof of tree dApp You can tick some boxes, make sure the tree planters around the world planted correctly, and then 5% of all the tree tokens that get minted go to the verifiers. So there's multiple rewards there, blah, blah, blah. And so what we built for this launch is we've actually developed a 2-tiered referral program. So not only can people refer their friends, and when they buy in, you can earn 10% of the funds that flow through during this pre-sale for our launch. But if you refer someone who then refers someone, you can also get rewarded through that. And so this allows us to really grow, make a whole bunch of noise. We have some social-fi campaigns that are launching as well in our Telegram. So t.me/treegenfam is the Telegram, where it has a bunch of other things you could earn. But yeah, growalition.xyz. Okay, don't share this link around, all right? This is typically for the green listed tree gens, those that put their hand on a tree and did the touch tree campaign. But since you guys are all amazing green pilled humans, you can have access to this. So if you go to that website right now, growalition.xyz, you can very easily sign up. You can get a link, and then you can basically refer people directly through that. Or if you just want to get 10% off straight out of the gate, bam, there's the link right there. So 4 pieces of info: name, email, your Telegram, and your base wallet address. And let's grow, Koi. Yeah, thank you for dropping the link of the HTTP. So yeah, that's it. You can get a discount, or you can refer friends. You can make funds, and this is going to ultimately help us create a world where anyone can plant trees and earn a living. It's decentralized tree planting rewards. We have a new website if anyone wants to check out everything that we're building. HTTPS treegens.org. You can check out there. But yeah, do sign up. It'll take you 5 seconds. 4 pieces of info. Okay, maybe 10 seconds. And then you're good to grow. You're good to grow. You can get a discount. You can refer friends and help us grow this movement. By the way, our goal is to get 1 billion trees planted in a single day. It sounds crazy, but we're actually on track to do it. Just one country, Ethiopia, set a record by getting 616 million trees planted in a day last year. They actually pulled that off, and they're increasing the number every single year. So TreeGens is partnered with the Ethiopian government, plus 7 other countries. It's likely to be July 10th. They still haven't given me the final date, but they do this every year. It's called the Green Legacy Initiative, where the entire country closes everything except essential services. Like hospitals are open, pretty much everything else is closed. It's a tree day. And we're going to be there on the ground, gamifying, tracking everything with our Proof of Tree protocol, helping them with prizes. TGN is going to help fuel this, and so is our Proof of Tree protocol that we're launching very soon. So would love it if y'all could help me spread the word. We're trying to make a massive impact and support tree planters all around the world. So let's grow.
Hell yeah, let's grow. Love it, Jimmy. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for sharing stuff. All right, I'm going to keep it moving so that we can actually discuss some Greenpill stuff at some point. There's also a Ecosynthesis X token launch. Is Lumina or Paul in here? I think the time is they're in very different time zones right now. But either way, yeah, the Greenpill Fungon folks are part of Ecosynthesis X. There was a Crypto Altruist podcast recently with Paul talking about it. That was pretty solid. And yeah, they're also doing a token launch on Juicebox. The link is in there. I think a handful of us have already bought some tokens. So the usual, not financial advice. Ooh, I don't quite know, but would certainly be rooting for it, and I'm pretty excited to see how that one plays out. And a couple more links, and then I will kick it to Koi to get into the Greenpill stuff. So this one is, so Luciano is the Greenpill NYC steward. So the big thing brewing there is basically using the flow state tech stack, is somehow managed to get a partnership going with with Kusenema. It's like a pretty rural. I don't think rural is accurate. It's like a small city-ish, suburby area within Japan, and they have buy-in from the local government to use tax funds to be allocated. I think it's a focus on like helping people after the natural disaster. But either way, that's officially happening, and there's a residency in October there. So if anybody's really a nomad and travels around, and I would highly recommend getting involved there. And then maybe I'm really showing a little bit too much favor to my Greenpill NYC folks, but this is Mike from Abundance Protocol from Greenpill NYC, and yeah, it's a pretty interesting protocol about like capturing that public goods, kind of capturing value. What's up, guys?
I was just going to say, I put a link up there. I'm glad you mentioned gardens. I put one for updraft.fund, which also launched this week. Encourage you guys to check it out. It's a novel protocol to help builders get funded. And they just launched a token as well. So, and that's built by Adam Stallard, who also built Bright ID and some other cool stuff. So good stuff there.
That's sick. Awesome. Thanks for sharing. And then I saw previously in the chat, Ala Verde mentioned that they're organizing a refi side event during ETHCons and was looking for advice on funding, sponsorship, partnership type stuff. So if anybody has any thoughts there, please respond. And yeah, if Ala Verde, if you wanted to share your Telegram in the chat so people could reach out, that would be cool too. Yeah, and then the final piece of news is I think the Greenpill DNFT campaign is officially going live within a week, give or take. I'm not sure if it's formally, like if a date has officially been chosen, but I saw that Rithu tweeted recently that T-minus 7 days and showed their board. So let me just post the landing page here. And yeah, when things really start to happen, we'll blast it across all the different socials and Telegram and Discord and stuff. But I think it might be kind of a tight time frame at this point, but I'm pretty sure that they're still open to other impact organizations creating bounties that could be looped into this. So if you're, part of an organization that's all about this stuff, and that sounds like something, setting up bounties on Impact Miner sounds kind of something up your wheelhouse. I'd recommend getting in touch with Atlantis and Rithu and seeing if you can kind of get in before this campaign actually goes live. And yeah, we shall see. This has been brewing for a long time. The artwork is all hand drawn. It's like absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, I'm like, shoot, Greenpill NYC, we got to get our bounties kind of finalized still, but yeah, big news there. And I believe that is everything I got. Sorry for taking so long, Koi. So yeah, so let me kick it off to Koi to get into the network news.
Hey, hello everyone. Can you hear me well? Nice. Hi everyone. I'm Koi. I'm from Brazil, Greenpill Brazil, for those who don't know me. I'm going to share some updates we have for the network. Starting for that Greenpill, we are restructuring our working groups, and we are like, we have these weekly meetings with stewards where we get together and like we try to find our strategies and things like that. And we are in a moment now where we are restructuring everything and trying to define some working groups. And this week, we talked about grants with Epoch 8, Octant Epoch 8. We kind of get together to write an application for the network, but was like very, is a challenge because we are talking about the whole network, right? So it's important to have alignment in purposes and things like that. So this was also kind of one of the reasons that we are doing this movement to step back and restructure, like think about these working groups. And we discussed about creating like a grants group where we would be focusing on, yeah, this kind of alignment. I know Cass has some ideas. Do you want to share, Cass?
Yeah, let me just find my tab here. I had you on a different tab for a second. So I'm Cass. I'm from Greenpill, Toronto, and I worked with Koi a little bit on the last grant application, and kind of came to this realization that we should be a little bit more structured. Recognizing that Greenpill has great potential to access funding, grants, partnerships, whatever it may be, but we've been a little reactive, we've been a little fragmented, and to guilds and into chapters going it alone. So I'm proposing that we do like a little bit more coherent, coordinated effort around grants. So I'm proposing that we start a working group to form a grant group. So not to actually start the grant group right away, but to think about how we want to approach it and do it a little bit more structured. So think about compensation model, the decision-making process, how do we decide which ones to go with and which ones not? How do we structure like the rules of engagements, the compensation and whatnot, and importantly, like who's going to be in that group. So we talked about this a little bit in the stewards chat, and two main options that needs to be evaluated. One is like, should the grant writers be paid? I mean, they should be paid. It's my opinion, but I suppose there's a third option to not pay the grant writers. I think that the two main options is to either pay grant writers for writing, regardless of the outcome, some sort of token amount, or the other option is to pay the grant writers a incentive. So if we get grants, then there's some of that money that goes back, some percentage. But that kind of creates two very different structures in the group. So that if we pay grant writers by the hour or just by the grant written, then it could be very open sort of group. If you buy as an incentive model, then they have to sort of stick with it for a while, a couple of months. So then depending on which one we choose, it'd be a different kind of model. So the problems that this would solve is, grants pursued late or poorly scoped or not being aligned with the actual Greenpill capacity. Like, who is going to do whatever we promise to do when we apply for a grant, right? Because it's not just writing. That's like the easy part. The hard part is to figure out what are we writing about and what do we promise, and then who's going to deliver the work if we get the grant. So that's part of like what makes it complicated and why we need to have a focused effort on it, in my point of view. So we start this little work group to figure this out, all these challenges. And the other challenge is like who gets to be in it. And I haven't been super happy with how everything has been formed inside of Greenpill to date. So I'm proposing that this group also act as like the election committee and organize like who's going to be in the group, and that makes it a little bit impartial. So I'll state right now that I'm not really interested in being part of the ultimate grant writing group. So I'll propose myself as part of that the team that sort of figures it out and that will nominate who should be in the group. And if anyone else is interested in taking that sort of impartial role and help me out with that, that'd be awesome. And then obviously when you have a group like this, then you might have too many applicants or you might have too few applicants. So if there's too few applicants, then I might propose my own name, but I don't think that's going to happen, right? I'm hoping that there's going to be lots of people that are interested in doing this. And then I'll just help figure out, who's the most qualified for that. And if there's more people qualified than we need. There's been some voices made that a good size of group would be 3 people. So if we have more qualified people that want to do it, then there are slots. Then we'll maybe make a vote on the gardens or something like that, so everyone can pitch in and voice their opinion. I'm not proposing to be taking the decisions centrally. Obviously, there'll be a recommendation. We might propose some sort of structure in the next monthly meetings. We'll give ourselves a month to figure it out, propose back to this group, and then take a group decision on how to go about it. So that's my proposal. And if anyone else is interested in helping out with this, give me a shout. If you have any opinions on should this be done or not be done or done differently, then now would be a great time to pipe up. So I'd open up comments.
Before we go to the questions, I just want to remember that we have a time that we need to be attached. We have some more updates about the network here that would be nice to share about. And I also want to remember that our pull-up is open. Like the secret word is Regen Grow. I don't know how to say this symbol in English. If anyone can help me, I think it's a trace.
I think it's just dash. So Regen dash.
Dash.
Grow.
Thanks. Yeah.
That's in the mobile app. Poetic Home.
Yeah, perfect. Just that. So everyone who has the app on your mobile, you can go there and just write the Regen-Grow. Let me put here again. And you will be able to get the network pull-up. Yeah, please, Reno, I saw that you raise your hand.
Yeah, thanks. I don't want to take too long on this. I think I want to say, I think it's good to have the conversation about the grants. I think there's definitely neither way is ideal that you proposed, Kaz. I think there are other options, and I don't think the group has to be limited to. I don't see why the group would have to be limited to 3 people. I think if 6 people want to be part of the conversation, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think if 12 people want to do that, bad thing. Just for making a decision. I've a good amount of experience with grant writing in over many years in the public sector and a little less experience in the Web3 world, but it's something I've got some skills at. I'd like to be part of potentially be a part of the working group. I just don't have any more time to give voluntarily. So I wonder. I don't know if others are in the same position. I wonder if we can allocate a small budget to this working group, and to just compensate people for the time they put into it, whoever those people end up being. I don't know how we would do that. If we have funds to do that, I just feel like you might get better participation.
Yeah, that's a good question for. Who's that a question for, really? That's
for the group. I don't even know what the process is. I don't know what the process is. If we can vote on that, we need a proposal. I don't even know what we would do if we wanted to get a few $100 allocated.
Matt, can you help with that?
There's a few. Well, I can answer that because I want to say some words. Yeah, there's a few pathways to do it. Right, we have the gardens. That probably wouldn't be adequate. And then we recently set up a snapshot. We've done polls and Telegram so far for certain allocation decisions, but now we can move it to snapshot and go on chain. And yeah, we could use snapshot as well for proposals that don't make sense for the gardens.
Cool.
Any other thoughts, Hafo? Anything else you want to share?
I just want to add that the growth conversation, like a working group, is definitely I think pertinent and important to get together as soon as possible.
But also, I think, sorry for interrupting you. Maybe you could also introduce the idea. There is a discussion happening in this link that I will share here. People can follow, and now you can also, introduce.
Okay. Oh, you shared the hub link. Okay, that's what we shared. Yeah, I think it's just to really impart that there's more than just the growth working group. I think we need to put together. I think we need to have a group around the chapters. We need to have a group around the community as well, even around the guilds. And I think by acknowledging that there's more than just this working group for the growth, I think there's a lot more opportunities. And then also where people have more skills too. So I just want to kind of just bring that to the light that this growth working group shouldn't be in my opinion, the only working group we put together for the network.
Yeah, that's cool. The way we talked about it in the network call was, this network stewards call, was that growth is a broader concept that includes grants. So I think we're saying the same thing, that the grants should be one thing, and then there are many other things inside of growth and strategy. Like, what is Greenpill?
It's kind of, but I'm really speaking to the community and the chapters, which I don't think would be under any growth group.
I think growth is more than just grants. I think growth is also partnerships and.
Oh yeah, growth to me is grants, partnerships, things of that. Grants and partnerships. I'd say those are the two that come to mind.
Are you suggesting that the same group handle both grants and partnerships, or are you suggesting two different groups?
Same group, because they kind of tie in hand. Forming strong partnerships, strong connections, helps with funding opportunities.
And what's your idea, Afo, about like who should be in this group? Do you have a profile that you have in mind?
Well, I already shared my thoughts in the stewards chat, and I know there's a lot more to get in this call, so I don't want to, So we'll continue having conversations in the stewards chat, but I feel there's a lot of qualified people for the role. And I already shared a couple names in the chat, in the stewards chat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just to give the context to people, like I think from what Afo was saying, like he thinks we should have a certain profile, like someone who has already a past in the network, who already has contributions and like a credible reputation.
Yeah, cool.
Like
I guess I wanted to pause it. No, yeah, to a degree, but I don't think it's also, it could be outside the network. It could, if somebody has the right qualifications. So I'm not trying to, say specific.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to give the full perspective for everyone. But thanks for sharing, man. I will move forward. Like we in this discussion, like it's very. This is very latent. I think is like something that it's fresh in our minds. It's a problem that is close. So I think it's a good moment to talk about a cohort that we will do in partnership with Gravity Town. We are thinking about how could we, increase stewards' capacity and like how to train them to be in this position of like a chapter steward or a guild steward or the network steward, right? We talk about founders and management and all of that, but sometimes these things, they are very complex. So it's good to have like a baseline for us, like a base structure for us to have a common language, using words that we can understand between us, like a language, a pattern language. So we are thinking about this cohort as something that could help us about that. And Durgadas is someone who is like deeply involved, a core contributor and founder, I guess, in Gravity Down. So would love to hear, Durgadas, what you have in mind and what we can expect. Like, for just this would be just an introduction where we want to spread what we are thinking with everyone and receive contributions. If anyone has interest, you can reach us out. I'm gonna let my send my Telegram handle here. So if anyone has interest in the cohort, you can already reach me out, but we will also share more information later. Yeah, please, Regis, feel free to.
Yeah,
join.
so I think the basic idea is that the idea behind Gravity DAO is kind of easy to summarize in a metaphor, and that is to say, the way that most DAOs and frankly most of Web3 sort of functions is like we're in this car, and we have no idea about where we're going. There's no map. We assume that the road doesn't curve or change or go up or down or require any potential adjustments. So there's no need for a steering wheel. There's certainly no need for brakes. And so basically what we're doing is we're saying that you know, why don't we, instead of having all of this assumptive things and then wonder why we're crashing into things, or the fact that we only learn lessons after we've crashed into the curve, that if we just looked at the map, we could have seen that the curve was coming up. Like if we just had brakes, we could, slow down and make sure that things don't kind of hurtle off in one direction or another. The whole idea behind Gravity DAO is to say, hey, let's look at the map. Let's take a look what's going on. Let's put a steering wheel and actually know how to operate the car and have brakes and other things. So there's some metaphors in there around, when do we, basically these are all coordination challenges that we're dealing with. So, so how do we appropriately choose when to turn the steering wheel, when to put on the accelerator, when to put the brakes on? When do we need to look at the map? How do we know if we're on the right track or we're lost? All of this kind of sense making and operational training is, I think, an important part of stuff. In order to do that, metaphorically, we have to have shared language with which to be able to make these kinds of conversations happen. So one of the things I often talk about is that we spend an awful lot of time, learning Solidity, learning Python, learning all these different programming languages. And moreover, we also learn ways in which we can, check code in and out of things. And there's like management frameworks that actually deal with the software side of the picture. Similarly, if you look at things like game theory, there's certain assumptions within game theory that exist. So all of this can lead us into thinking that these things are not the whole idea is that we spend a lot of time with shared language around those topics, but very little in terms of how can we get better coordination, how can we get better talking to each other, how can we get better at collaborating. So the idea behind Gravity DAO is to hopefully, get us all functioning in this car together and have, if I'm saying to hit the brakes and you don't know what a brake is, if I'm telling you to, how to read the map and then you don't know what I'm saying around that, or the map's written in a different language, or there's any number of different things. The idea of working together is central to what we're doing, and I'd like to propose that we get together and start sharing some of those different mental models and languages that we can all figure out and learn together so that we can coordinate better. And so I think the initial idea was to try to see if we couldn't solve kind of one major coordination paradox at a time. So I think, Coy, what was the one that we had suggested that we were going to try to resolve? I think it was the.
I think was become decentralized without
right,
losing. Yeah.
Without losing speed, right? So
guys, just a quick time check. We're at the top of the hour here. So.
Okay. So anyway, so that's my proposals that we try to get together and talk about solving some central coordination problems. Basically, what's happening is Gravity DAO is engaged in solving the various paradoxes that exist, and I'm really interested in having a group of people who are also interested in solving problems like, hey, who doesn't want to solve the problem of the fact that decentralization also means that there's a lot of slowness in making decisions. If we could have fast decision making and informed decision making while maintaining decentralized approaches, that's the first paradox I'm looking to connect with you guys on and see if we can't solve as a cohort.
Yeah, I think it's really synergetic, but with the moment we are now, and this conversation also about grant writing and having a growth group. I think all of these things, they are kind of already inside the same paradox. It is a kind of a movement that we are doing to bring the network on chain and also think about different revenue sources. So yeah, I think this is a good moment to talk about that. So if anyone has interest, you can, and helping to set up this cohort, and you can reach me out, or even anyone of the stewards we can chat about.
Yeah, and I will say that somebody who deals in strategy quite a lot, people typically only think of strategy in terms of growth, and I think you need to think about strategy a couple of steps ahead of that. So some of the content of what we'd be talking about in this cohort would be to talk about, what is your actual, so theory of change has a huge impact on what strategy you're going to have, and thinking strategically means you actually have to have a problem to solve. So part of the reason why I'm suggesting that we actually solve this paradox of coordination is to give us kind of an initial starting point with this strategy for you guys, and to work with us and collaborate with us on solving this problem, which we're going to be doing anyway, whether you're doing it with us or not. But it's, we'd love to have you guys along. So.
Yeah, thanks, Durgadas. Thanks for sharing. This is an open invitation. It's directed to Greenpill stewards, but people that are inside the chapters that are also engaging and being part of the team. We also thinking about opening this to these participants. Yeah, we are on the top of the hour. We have some other things that we need to share. One is that we are setting up finally our garden. So I think we are almost good to go, or if you can correct me, Afo, we are good to go on gardens. Like, I think you changed the parameters yesterday, right?
With the gardens, it's good to go. We might still need to update the parameters because it still looks like but it's good to go. People can start putting conviction in. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, we still need to make some fix on the threshold for the funding pool, but we have a funding pool there, which is related basically it is like to strategic capital allocation and for governance basically. So you can reach out us if you have any doubt. We have some proposals there too for you to reference. And if you want to make a proposal on the pool, it's open for you to do that. Anything you want to add on that, Matt?
I think just a quick note that the allow list is based on Greenpill. So anybody can join. It's just a guild.xyz. We need to add additional POAPs and probably some other things, but yeah, it's a rolling list. So we can, even if you just join now, eventually you'll be added to the allow list, and yeah, it's functional for now, but we're room for improvement.
Good point. Yeah, so basically, if you're joining the garden for the first time and you already participated, you are already engaged in the network, you probably has some POAPs and some metrics that we are tracking with Greenpill. So I would recommend for you to join Build XYZ Greenpill and log in there, get your score in Greenpill, then you can go to Gardens and join the community. After some time, we will update this list. There you will be able to vote on the proposals too. that's the whole idea. That's the flow for now. So we have a partnership moving forward. We have a partnership going on with Let's Grow DAO, where we're going to start to streaming the demo days, the monthly calls, and the DevGuild monthly spaces too. It's a exciting partnership. Let's Grow DAO, it's already a big partner, like on the ecosystem, a big, they have a lot of impact already, and they are awesome, like great crew too. KFC Media is part of the ecosystem, Let's Grow ecosystem. Jimmy, I know Wasabi also is part of it. So yeah, it's very excited for that. Yeah, we have a Writers Guild survey that we are doing. I think Matt already shared before, but there is a research going on. Did you share, right, Matt? This link you shared before?
Yeah, I just threw it in there again, and also the tweet.
Okay.
If anybody wants to like it or retweet it, that'd be cool. But yeah, blasting it out and hopefully get a ton of responses. And yeah, it's the first step, or really not the first step, but one of the early steps of this series that the Writers Guild is going to be publishing on Carbon Copy about tooling within Regen communities, and with the help of the Dev Guild as well.
Yeah, also excited about that. I think this research, this survey will help us to identify a lot of insights and pain points probably. So very excited for that. I know that we also have like an incentive. We will have a raffle for participants. So check it out. Feel free, spend some minutes there. I think will be a good move. Yeah. Now we have chapter updates, but before we go that, I think we can just we can do the chapter updates at the end, since we are on the top of hour. I just want to talk about the previous monthly space with Graven. We did a monthly space with Graven from Flow State. Great conversation. This was like our first attempt, or second, I guess. No, the first attempt to stream the space with Let's Grow DAO. I think was a success. Was a great talk. So if anyone wants to hear the record, it's here. And another thing is that we have a next Allo space, DevGuild space with Allo builders this month. So stay tuned for more information on that. We will share soon. Another thing is that the final update for the network, then we can go to the chapter updates. The DevGuild just launched their Flow splitter on Flow State. And this is part of a Superfluid campaign where if you interact with the Superfluid ecosystem, you can earn some soup tokens, the airdrop. Yeah, I was aware here, Matt. But if you are interacting with the Superfluid ecosystem, you can earn some airdrops of soup token. And Flow State is one of the apps that is participating in this campaign. So if you go to this link that I shared, you will be able to see the different organizations that are doing their campaigns, different guilds, and you will find there is the Flow Guild, the core contributors of Flow State. We have Octant Builder Accelerator, we have the Dev Guild, we have the Guild, and the Good Builders program too. So if you stream for any of these projects using Superfluid, we will be eligible to receive some soup tokens on Superfluid. Yeah, that's it. I think for the network, that's, oh yeah, we have just a final topic here, quick hitter. IFTTT. Matt, could you share a little about it? Just a final. Final blurb.
Just a quick note. So Alpha's put in a ton of work to get IFTTT set up to kind of automate a lot of the posting before calls, and I think eventually we can even branch out into automating some other stuff. But yeah, it's a bit raw. I know Hino commented that it's a bit like it's kind of active on the Discord, but yeah, we just got to adjust the settings and tweak it a little bit. But it's I think it's awesome. As somebody that was spending a little bit too much time kind of reposting stuff all over the place, it's I think it's a good one. So
yeah,
pretty
thanks
solid.
Afo
Thanks again, Afo.
thanks for building this, and yeah, it's another structure that you built it for us. Yeah, I think that's it, guys. We covered all the topics, and now I will open for chapters if they want to share updates about the recent activities of your chapter or your plans for next weeks. Feel free. Anyone wants to start? Yes, please, Owen.
Yeah, thanks. Hi, Alwyn here from Cape Town, South Africa. And just since we started, been getting a good bit of momentum around engaging with local communities as well as international events. So the important ones that happened where we collaborated was the Global Pizza DAO, as well as the Ethereum Foundation's 10-year birthday that happens on the 30th of July. We also reached out and got a small grant from them. So we are planning a very nice event for that in Muizenberg, Cape Town for that. Looking forward to it. And also just engaging a lot more with the local community, Cape Town community around blockchain. Next week, there's an event called Blockchain and Beers. It happens every once a month and sponsored by a local organization. Yeah, and fantastic opportunity to always just engage with the likes of Lisk and many other chains, because there's a whole different ecosystem in Cape Town than perhaps in other parts of the world. So doing a lot of that. And then most importantly is with our Muizenberg community garden and local organizations on the ground, building out things around soil technology, for example, or the likes of environmental regeneration and social impact. And so my challenge for the coming week or two is to get all of that onto Karma Gap and start making some real provable, verifiable, showing some verifiable impact. Looking forward to it. And big invitation to everybody. Hopefully, I'm just crossing fingers, Edge City, there might be an Edge City in Cape Town in 2026. If that happens, then I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you IRL and greeting you to this beautiful city. Ciao.
Yeah, this definitely would be awesome. I hope we can make it. I hope to be there. It's my dream to travel to there. But anyone else has updates or thoughts and feedbacks? Another chapter?
Nothing too exciting with Greenpill, New York City. We're still doing our meetups. We actually put together.
Hello, Jim.
Oh yeah, me.
Hey, Anu.
Okay, yeah, Jim is Amir from Greenpill, Nigeria. So over the last weeks, we have been on an educational initiative on onboarding Web3 communities in Nigeria to verify and then also to public goods, because we believe in creating awareness first, because it's the awareness that will bring curiosity, and then the curiosity will bring innovations, right? So that's why we are on a mission to onboard many Web3 communities in Nigeria into verify and public goods. We want to create this awareness, and then we are also demonstrating and using some of the tools, because we have many tools in the refi space, and so some of them have shortage of users Because of the shortage of users, there may be no innovation going on these tools. So we are using most of these tools not just to onboard them, but also to demonstrate to them what is possible within the space and then how they will get involved. So if you have any tool that you have and then you feel that like you need a community to help you test it, or you need a community that to help you use it and they have feedback, you can reach out to us. So on one of these sections, we may be able to use your tools and also demo your tools to people so that they will use it and then see how impactful it is. From there, you can get feedback on how to improve it. So that is the updates that we have at this moment. So thank you.
Awesome, awesome. I'm really think curiosity is a very good motivation to learn, and yeah, it's awesome to know that you guys are doing such a great job on that. Anyone else wants to share? Yeah, so I think I can wrap with Greenpill Brazil. Greenpill Brazil, recently we had a problem with our governance space. Like we were using guidance, but we had a problem with the token. So right now we are restructuring the governance. We were using Charmverse before, and we were moving to Gardens, but now that we lose Gardens, we are back on Charmverse, and they just changed their business model. So now we need to pay to use Charmverse. So yeah, it was a tough situation when everything happened at once. We lost Gardens and Charmverse, but now we have Charmverse back. We have our proposals flowing there. And we have plans to create a new token and on Celo. And we are doing and right now what we are doing specifically as in project side, we are building cookie jars for our community, for stewards and also for guardians. And we are also setting up like a group to be bound validators and bound managers on the impact miner. We have the task to create the bounties into the end of this week. So I hope we can finish in time. And yeah, that's it, kind of. I think we could talk about more things. Oh yeah, Sadafu network. We are doing a cohort program, kind of, with Regen Hill projects. Now that the round is over, the program it's still running, but we are in a different pace. Now that we already finished the quadratic funding and the Karma Gap setup, we will spend the time we need to onboard people on Sadafu and also learn between us how can we interact from there. I will release a report about that. So anyone who has interest in learning with our experience, we will have also some insights when I share this report. So yeah, that's kind of what we are doing now. I want to thank you all for being here and staying here with us to talk about the network. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, everyone. See you next time.
Thanks for hosting, Cody.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Hey, good stuff, everybody. Appreciate you all. And then remember, 11 more minutes if you haven't minted the POAP. It's regen-grow in the home POAP home app. And if you don't have mobile, shoot me a DM on Telegram and I'll share a mint link.
Love
good
those
stuff.
POAPs. Ciao.
Good stuff.
Remembering that POAPs, we will be using the POAPs to increase Greenpill score. So this is like a continuous work that we're gonna do with our own. So keep this in mind. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.